The Mdlalose family has been traumatized. They say they are desperately in need of counseling to come to terms with what has happened to their loved ones. A memorial service was held for 6 family members, but their search for others continues. Our senior reporter Mdlalose was at that memorial service earlier. He joins us now live. So Mdlalose, the Mdlalose family actually holding this memorial service for 6 of their loved ones, but at the back of their minds, they're actually also thinking about others who are still missing.
Indeed, it's been a very traumatic and devastating experience for the Mdlalose family in Umzinyathi, eNanda. Today, they held that memorial service for their loved ones, 6 of them, but they are still vigorously searching for the 4 that are still missing. So today's memorial service was about remembering those that have departed, but at the same time, they can't really have full closure because they still need to find the 4 that are still missing. And it's something that, pains the family. They are not the only ones that have lost their loved ones. I think a week ago I covered the story of the Geological family in Hammersdale who buried 5 of their loved ones. You talk about 5 family members all gone at once. And then the Mdlalose family is one of those many tragic stories, in KwaZulu-Natal, whereby 10 people in total were washed away when their house collapsed. It was washed away. They were inside the house. 6 bodies were later found. 4 are still missing. The family has been in and out, in mortuaries trying to look for their loved ones. Every day they have to go through the bodies of unknown people searching for their loved ones. And they are telling us that it's more devastating and traumatic. Hence, they are appealing for counseling because they are saying they are not coming to terms with what has happened. They are not coping. And as they are preparing for this funeral service tomorrow for the 6 bodies or the 6 family members that have been found, they are still trying to locate the 4, and they don't know how long that process will take. Initially, they would have wanted to bury the 10, all of them together, but they say they cannot delay this funeral service. They'd rather bury the 6 while they are continuing with their search. Let's take a listen to one of the family members explaining.
I need counseling for it. If I may tell you. Siyagula sonke sishayisana ngamakhanda kubuhlungu Brian, but uyabona ama emotions. I mean, if you have to split your grief, 10 people, man, say need counseling. Yeah, say need a Brian, especially labantwana abasalile from laba bahambile the children now lapha endlini, they really need counseling for it.
Sipa, there's also calls now to move those living in low-lying areas and river banks. Tell us more about how this is going to happen.
I think that's a concern that has been raised for a very long time, particularly when it comes to Umzinyathi in eNanda. Many people have been raising that issue to say every time there is flooding in eThekwini and in Umzinyathi, most of the people who will be affected are those that live near the Umzinyathi river bank. And there have been calls to stop settling people there, to basically move them to other safer areas, and that call has been renewed today. The local councillor, together with the member of the KwaZulu-Natal Provincial Legislature, Zandile Kumede, who's also the chairperson of the ANC in eThekwini region. She also serves as the chairperson for the COCTA committee in the KwaZulu-Natal Legislature. She made that call that people need to be resettled. There should be an engagement between stakeholders, including the traditional leadership in the area, including Ginkosi, Iamakati, as well as other stakeholders, to find land and resettle those who live in low-lying areas, but most importantly, also those who live in areas that are not conducive for them to live there. And I guess that call has been renewed by this tragedy that has happened in Umzinyathi and eThekwini, also across KwaZulu-Natal. Let's take a listen to what Zandile Kumede had to say.
Abasendaweni nasemaqadini nakuzo zonke indawo ekhona esifundazweni Siqhiyekele ukuthi ngomlomo kaNdunankulu kuzofika ochwepheshe babamsane nomeya bezindawo kubhekwe abantu abakhe ezintabeni, abantu abakhe osebeni lomfula ngoba umonakalo la udale khona kakhulu yilaba umphakathi wakithi owakhe endaweni osebeni lomfula okuthe magcwala imfula ngokungaphezulu kwamandla yahamba imizi. Ngokunjalo nenhlabathi izohlolwa endaweni ezithile ngoba indawo eziningi njengako Ward 9 uthola ukuthi inhlabathi ibe soft ngalendlela ukuthi imizi yashona phansi yacwila imphakathi yakithi yagcina ihambile. Umndeni wakaMdlalose omunye womndeni obeyisisulu ngoba la wakhe khona obwakhe entabeni la kuthiwa kuvele kwavuleka intaba kwaphuma amanzi wadudula umuzi kwasala amastebhisi kuphela kwahamba amalunga omndeni ayishumi. Ingakho ke sithi uhulumeni wakithi uzolidinga kakhulu usizo nasemazweni adlelana nawo uqhiyekela qhekela ukuthi lezi ndawo ziyahlonzwa zihlolwe ukuthi ngabe imphakathi yakithi iphephile yini la yakhe khona ngoba sibonile ku-Ward 9 la kade ngikhona ngithole omunye wemizi ushone phansi wavela ngokhakhayo okukhombisa ukuthamba kwenhlabathi kuleya ndawo.
Well, basically the gist of it really is that Zandile Gumede is saying there will be a need for government to get more geologists and experts who will advise in terms of settling people, but particularly when it comes to the area of eNCA in Umzinyathi. She says there is an urgent need for all stakeholders to come together and look at that area, get experts who will come and check the soil there and everything, including the way people have built their houses, and also recommend on the way forward, because she's been recalling how we have experienced the situation whereby every time there is flooding in Umzinyathi, people who will be affected are those who are living by the river banks, and she's been calling on all stakeholders, including eNCA of Amakadi, to come together with the provincial government and somehow the national government to try and get experts who will look at that area of eNCA and advise on the possible way moving forward in terms of ensuring that should there be flooding in the near future, we will not see this disaster again.
Yeah, and has Gumede said anything about the recent special NEC meeting regarding the step-aside resolution? We know that they said going forward, those who are charged and who have stepped aside should not be nominated or actually elected to these positions at branch or regional or provincial level. She actually managed to slip through because she was already elected as eThekwini region leader.
Indeed, I think she survived that resolution of the NEC, that those who are criminally charged, it's not advisable for them to contest for any leadership position in the ANC moving forward in any structure, be it at a branch executive committee level, regional executive committee level, provincial executive committee or NEC, or even the top officials of the ANC. Today was for the first time that we got to ask Zandile Gumede about that resolution of the NEC of the ANC. She is criminally charged, facing fraud and corruption charges. There has been speculation that she is contemplating contesting the upcoming provincial elective conference of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal. She says she is warning against a resolution that is not thought through. She says she accepts that the NEC of the ANC has taken that resolution. However, she says it's against the constitution of the ANC and the country to prevent people from contesting for any leadership position. Let's take a listen.
Ngiyafisa ukuthi umbutho wethu ukubukisise uxilonge ukubaleka ngendlela abenza ngayo izinto. Angigxeki ngoba babaholi bethu kufanele sibahloniphe, kodwa ngifuna nje ukuhlonzela into eyodwa, imetha yokuthi ama-RTT or amakomiti esikhashana kumele avote. Lapha eThekwini amakomiti esikhashana akuguqulwanga i-Regional Executive Committee yenziwa ikomiti lesikhashana, kodwa kwathathwa amalunga ayikade ephethe ubulunga bukakhongolose eyihlalele emakhaya bazoba ikomiti lesikhashana. Lawo maqabane azovota kanjani emhlanganweni ka-African National Congress engazange akhethwe ngesinye isikhathi, ngoba laba abasuke bephelelwe isikhathi kusuke kuzwakala ngoba basuke kade bephelelwe isikhathi bese beguqulwa beba isikomiti lesikhashana. ngifisa nje ukuxwayisa ukuthi konke esikwenzayo asicophelele kungasibambi ngelinye ilanga sesingasazi ukuthi siguqula kanjani umbutho wabantu lo umbutho ekufanele ukuthi siugcine njalo uphephile umbutho ekufanele sunakekele umbutho oyithemba kubantu.
Zandile Gumede there warning the ANC leadership, saying, well, she respects the decision and the resolution of the NEC. However, she says the ANC shouldn't take decisions that will become problematic in the near future, that will not be implementable because there will be loopholes. She says the ANC is for everyone, and the main task right now should be to rebuild the ANC. You get a sense that she's not happy with the resolution that those who are criminally charged should not contest for any leadership position, and you get a sense that ANC structures in eThekwini may need to discuss the issue. However, the question will be what to do with it, because the highest decision-making body in between the conferences has resolved that those who are criminally charged should not contest for any leadership position. So moving forward, it will be interesting to see how Zandile Gumede, Ace Mahashule and others who are criminally charged will navigate around this. Remember, there are other leaders in Limpopo as well who are criminally charged. There is that upcoming provincial conference there. So it's going to be a very difficult one for the ANC moving forward in terms of those leaders who are facing criminal charges.
Yeah, definitely going to be a difficult time for the ANC's national leadership. We're going to leave it right there. Our senior reporter, Mdlalose.